Welcome to the new sound of online radio. Welcome to the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network.
'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of hell.
A mix of today's hits and hard-to-find favorites, combined with the most entertaining and intriguing talk anywhere. This is your sound. This is the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network at UENradio.com.
Hey, thanks for joining us tonight. I'm your host, Wendi Cooper, and it's time to sit back, let go, and start living unfiltered.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're
You can
not
sit
here
down
yet.
now. Thank you.
It's all you.
Hey, great.
Wow,
hey,
what a
guys.
great audience you have.
Hey,
Your live audience.
Hey,
It's so
you're not
cool.
here yet.
Oh.
Welcome to Living Unfiltered, you guys. This is Kathy Christopherson. I am filling in for Wendi Cooper tonight. Wendi is traveling, and I was really flattered that she asked me to take over the show tonight. I dig this new concept of unfiltered. Hey, go sit down. I have really unruly guests tonight, so I'm gonna try to get. Come on, sit down. I'm gonna try to get right to it because man, it's gonna be a fast hour and yet a long hour because I have.
Long for you.
I know, right? Because we don't know what's gonna happen. This is definitely the definition of unfiltered. I have two fabulous guests, unruly but fabulous. And if you want to know about them, just look them up on the internet. There's a million things to know about. So I'm not going to bore you with too many details, but I'll tell you a little bit about each before we put them on camera. I have Jack Douglas, legendary music producer, and probably best known for working with just amazing people like John Lennon. It doesn't get much bigger than that. He's going under the table. Aerosmith. Oh, God, where the list goes on. Cheap Trick, Patti Smith, Robert Kennedy. He wrote music for the CIA. What? You'll have to read his book when he finishes his book to hear about that story. He also has a musical background, which I didn't even know about till recently. He was in the folk music world, and he does a lot of stuff on the albums that he engineers and produces, like he does backup vocals and writes music and blah, blah, blah. Rick wants us to get to him. Rick Dufay. Guitarist. Oh, yeah, he scored. Oh, Christ. Okay, we're getting to that. So I'm telling you, I can't even introduce these guys. But we have Rick Dufay, guitarist extraordinaire, best known for his handyman now. Best known for his days with Aerosmith, but pre-Aerosmith days, he had a whole solo career.
A whole one.
Yeah, a whole one consisting of one album. That's not exactly
But a good
true.
one.
A good one, because
Yeah,
Jack produced it.
Yeah. He robbed me.
Tender Loving Abuse. And then, we'll go into his Aerosmith days. And then since that time, he got into his bluesy band called Blues by Nature.
Just blue.
And, he still is like a closet guitarist, but he's very stingy with his talent. We'll talk about that, too. Above all, these guys have been friends for a really long time. And I'd say pretty much they're like two peas in a pod. Hi, guys. How'd I do?
Good.
That was good.
Yeah? Just
Hey,
good?
Thank you.
Woo!
Thank you. Thank you.
Just do a lot of that and they'll be happy.
Thank you.
Don't do any of that.
Sit down. You can sit down now.
So why don't you guys tell me a little bit about how you met? Let's go to the very beginning when you were doing all this stuff, Jackie. You were working with Lennon and you were already working with Aerosmith, right?
I hadn't worked with Lennon yet.
Oh, you hadn't worked with Lennon yet. Okay, so
We were together the day I got the phone call. In fact,
No.
yes.
But you did Imagine and stuff.
No, I worked with him as an engineer, but not as a producer.
okay, all right. So that's
the day that I got the call to produce him, because he'd been away for 6 years. He hadn't done anything for, I think, 5 years.
Lennon.
Yeah. So no one ever thought he was going to do another record. He was retired. He was living with his wife and new son, and he was being a house husband and all that cool stuff. Anyway, well, we won't get on that.
Yeah, just go ahead.
So I
But you can if you
had
want.
been in Haiti to do some voodoo with Dr. Jack. this voodoo doctor.
Don't look at me.
I mean, for real, you were in Haiti
Yes.
doing voodoo.
Yeah, and
oh,
it worked
excellent.
Oh,
very-
that's right. To try to get your wife pregnant.
Yeah, to try to get my wife pregnant.
Because Dr. Haiti was going to strip her because he couldn't.
Okay.
Yeah. So-
Really?
No, he just.
Is that part of
We
voodoo?
just did a voodoo ceremony, and then he said, "Jump in bed with her right now, and she might get pregnant," and she did. But he gave us these things to wear around our necks that we were supposed to wear, and he said, "You'll know when it's time to take those
Is this
off."
supposed to be how we met?
No, this is. We're going to get
Yeah,
to that.
okay,
But
yeah.
this is an interesting story.
Yeah,
This is why it's going to be a long hour, because we're going to get
He
on
said,
the
"You'll
nitty-gritty.
know when to take this thing off."
Right.
Okay, so like I just there was this period where every act I was doing I was bored with, and he and I were walking down West 76th Street just off of Central Park.
Who's
West.
he?
Rick.
You haven't met him yet.
No, this is
That's what I mean.
1979
Yeah, right. Okay.
or 80.
No, it is
1980.
We already did the album. This
Yeah,
is
this
after.
is just a little
This is
piece
not how
of.
Jack and I met. This is how
This
Jack.
is just a little piece of
Okay,
interesting.
finish that story, and then we'll go back to how you
All right,
met.
forget it. I'm not gonna.
No, we want,
Okay.
we want to hear the rest of the story
All
about
right,
your voodoo.
I'm telling him that everything I'm doing I'm bored with, and he says to me, "It's that thing around your neck."
Wait a minute. We're flat broke. We're junkies. We're
No, we weren't.
Yes, we were.
Well, we were not.
A little bit.
Not yet.
Not yet.
You were maybe at the beginning of
were
junkiism.
Yeah, we were hitting it.
Yeah.
So he
So
said,
I said to him, "What's
"It's that thing
fuck-"
around your neck."
No, I said, "What is that thing around your neck?" And you explained all this crap to me.
Yeah.
And I'm going, "Get rid of that."
So he says, "Take it off." So I took it off, and there was a churchyard. I took it off, and I threw it over the wall into the churchyard. And then he went on his merry way somewhere else. And when I got to my apartment on 76th Street, the phone was ringing, and it was the call to do the Lennon album.
So Rick is responsible for you
If
producing
I hadn't taken
Double
that off,
Fantasy.
I should share the royalties.
What royalties?
right.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
No, you eventually got those, right?
Didn't I come
Yeah,
home with?
chunk 'em.
Didn't we, wasn't I staying with you at 76th Street?
I don't remember.
I wasn't
You
with
were-
Myra yet.
You weren't in the house when I got the phone call. Or
Okay.
were you? Maybe you were.
And then suddenly he goes, "You never going to believe the phone call."
That's right.
I
That's
was.
right. Because he came in. I said, "You're never going to
That's
believe."
a pretty cool story.
And he wouldn't tell me. He said, "Can I guess?" So I guessed everybody. I said, "Is he English?" He goes, "Yeah." Clapton. He goes, "No."
It
Bowie.
didn't even occur to you.
Nothing.
No,
Didn't occur to anybody.
I couldn't tell anybody
Yeah.
because it was a secret.
But mostly it didn't occur to you because nobody thought Lennon was going to be
It's
doing
off the
anything
map.
else.
Yeah, it's off the
Okay,
grid.
that's pretty cool. Now, can we get back to how you guys met? Because I want to hear how that went down.
It's all about trying to get laid.
That's all it is.
Okay, let's hear it. What
It's
was
always about
what
that.
was going on? What was going on in both
Well,
your careers?
I was looking for a producer to produce this album
Where were you?
in Los Angeles with these shysters, landers, and robbers.
Slanders.
Slanders and robbers. And they used my pretty face to get a couple of deals, and I was too dumb to know any better.
And he was pretty.
Still
And super young.
very young. Now I'm just toothless and handsome.
How? Yeah. Okay. So, how old?
How old what?
How old were you around then?
28,
25?
27?
Yeah, you're in your 20s. You're in Los Angeles. You're looking for a producer.
So I go to England, it doesn't work out. The guy is
Okay.
totally nuts, and I have a relapse of you know what, right?
Oh yeah,
Lose it.
you went a little nut.
Naked on King's Road
Yeah.
somewhere.
Right.
So then I come home, cut a long story short, and this guy Jack Douglas, 'cause I love rocks. I love the sound of rocks. And who produced that? Oh, that guy. Listen. Cut a long story short, you call me or late? Oh no.
No.
So this chick, you tell it.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
so
too.
this girl that worked for the management company was on a plane from Los Angeles to New York. She's flying from New York to L.A. And on the plane was this gangster friend of mine, Eddie Lynch.
That's right. I know Eddie.
Okay. Gangster / actor / gangster, like
Yeah.
whatever work pays better.
And yet he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He never hurt anybody didn't have it coming, to tell you the truth.
That's comforting.
So
Never coming to him.
he's on the plane and he sees this girl. She's apparently the seat next to her was empty, so he thought he maybe could get a shot at joining the Mile High Club. So he sat next to her, and he started talking to her. And what do you do? Well, the usual stuff. And she said, "Well, I represent this management group, and we're looking for a producer for this artist we have." And so he went, "Oh, I know a great producer." And he said, "Jack Douglas is like my best friend." And she said, "Wow, he's on our list." So anyway, he didn't get anywhere on the plane, but he calls me up when he lands, and I was at the Entourage? L'Hermitage.
Entourage, L'Hermitage.
I was at L'Hermitage, and he calls me up and he said, "Listen, this babe, I didn't get anywhere with her, but maybe you can. So he sends her to me. So
Well, you talked to the office and set up an
yeah.
appointment.
So I'm waiting for her to come over. I get into a bathrobe to answer the door.
So you thought you were going to get lucky.
I thought I was, I didn't care a bit about whose tape
Yeah.
she was bringing me.
Yeah, what do you need that for?
Another boring, stupid.
She
moment.
comes in, she brings this tape in, I sit down, and she sits down, I'm looking at her. You're okay.
Still doing a pinch any
Yeah.
port in a storm.
I think, oh, people are going to hate me. I put the tape in, and I liked it. So that meant, no, it's not going to happen.
I need the job.
I mean,
like
you
it.
must have really liked it.
I did. I
Yeah, but-
realized it was his demo, and I really liked it.
What was so great about it?
It just was unique.
And
Something
then-
I've always said about him. It was unique, but
But the best thing is we talk on the phone, and he said to me about a year or two ago, he says, "You know what we did the first time we talked?" I said, "What?" He says, "We laughed. We just laughed, and I thought you were a 500-pound fat guy from Jersey." Because I'm talking, so yeah, what should we do?
Yeah.
And he's going, "You want to do digital or analog?" I don't know what the fuck's the difference. He goes, "Well, one, all this," and I'm going, "Yeah." So he thought I was a fat guy. Then I come down to the studio, and he saw, I said, "Oh, he's a skinny poofter."
Yeah.
yeah, everybody
right?
thought you were gay, but
They did, huh?
No,
Yeah.
they just wanted to fuck me.
Yeah, right.
They didn't
Boys
care,
and girls.
They didn't care if I was gay.
he
Yeah,
made Minka during that album,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
right?
Tender loving abuse, you mean? So now you guys get together. You like his music. You guys hit it off, and you say, "Let's make an album."
The first night at the studio, we're at the top on the roof of the studio. Before we do anything, I'm with him and Lee DiCarlo, who was his partner in crime. And there's these people in the jacuzzi room fucking, right? So Lee goes, "Bring the hose up there." So we get this hose, and we pour
Cold water
cold
hose.
water hose. And that's my first night at record plant in the studio. Oh, so this is how this is gonna go.
Yeah, that's how it went.
With Sly, what's his name? Sly.
Yeah.
Sly,
Sly Stone.
Yeah, with his toolkit of bass pipe machinery. Because
It was total debauchery.
It was just
there.
total debauchery. It was great.
Lee DiCarlo's father
Right.
was represented in Jersey Boys by Christopher Walken. Jip DiCarlo, if you saw Jersey Boys.
Wow, I haven't.
It was,
You should get out
thankfully,
more to
but
see
yeah.
it, probably.
Yeah,
I know,
Yeah,
probably.
you spent too
You're
much
right.
time here, but I mean, he was a real heavy duty mafia.
Okay, she's
guy.
bored. Go ahead.
All right,
So,
let's
No.
stick to all right. Come on, stick to the script.
no. I want to see it, but I want to know more about this. So you guys make this album, and this is like a big break for you. No,
No.
no,
We
not
don't-
really.
We don't know.
You're like big deal.
I don't know who. I wasn't ever in awe of him. I just thought he's a good guy and a goofball like me.
Oh,
So
okay.
we got along great. It wasn't like, oh boy, Jack Doug produced my record. I knew the record business was all fucked. It wasn't up to how good the record is. It was up to the business side to make it happen, right?
Yeah.
It still is. I mean, you can have a great record and nothing's going to happen. But what I liked about it is that we got along so well. I didn't give a shit about the record.
So you're just having a good time.
I did though. We made a good record.
We made a good
Yeah.
record, but I wasn't worried about. Oh, I hope this makes it.
How'd it do?
Nothing.
It escaped.
It got a great review, but it bounced around because of slanders and
They
robbers.
took the money and didn't invest anything in promotion or anything.
So nothing's changed in the music business, pretty much.
no.
Well, if you have good people around you and you're smart,
Yeah.
like I
they
wasn't.
they sold the record like two or three different labels, and it was
Yeah, yeah.
just a mess. No label knew who owned it. They
So
didn't
the
know who
record-
owned it.
yeah.
So they just folded on the
So
whole
the
thing.
record's over. I go to New York to meet with Freddie Hine. He wants me to make a solo record. No more Jack Doug because we were all getting kind of crazy.
Yeah, you
And
guys
no-
are going down the rabbit hole, right?
Yeah,
around
we're
there.
going
So,
down there a little
okay.
bit.
Yeah, a little
And
bit.
then he said, "You're not going to be signed to Landers Roberts anymore. We're signed directly to the label." I didn't feel like making a record. I didn't care. And then we're doing that. Was the John Lennon thing before I joined Aerosmith?
Yeah.
It was.
No.
Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah. So then we're hanging out, and then the necklace thing. We're hanging out in Manhattan. Then I'm living with him. The necklace thing happens. He gets the gig. We don't know what it is.
He was always living with me.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
that reversed eventually.
Well, a little bit.
Kinda.
Yeah. So
Okay, so you
So then he said, Aerosmith needs a guitar player. And I said, so they should go get one. Because I don't want to be in Aerosmith. I never
Why
liked
not?
it. As a poor man's Rolling Stones, all my influences were English. I never liked Aerosmith.
I mean, was that really true though, or was
Absolutely.
that just sort of the
Absolutely. For me.
yeah?
I
Okay.
never liked that band,
Yeah. Okay. All right.
you know. And
So
then-
you're not really interested,
No.
but you go.
he tells me, you got to do it.
Why? Why did he have to
20,000
do
people
it?
a night, and it's the big time. I said, no. So he said, just go to the rehearsal.
Okay,
for the
what was
audition.
your thing
that
behind
right?
You were like,
I
look.
thought it would help him build a career.
Right.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
okay.
even if he stayed in Aerosmith for a little while, I thought it might help him build a career.
Okay, so you show up.
I show up. It's awful. The band is not a band. Cut a long story short, Steven comes in, goes, "What songs you know?" I kind of know that one goes "Buddle and Ump, Bump." I don't know. He says, "Why can you not know any fucking songs?" Blah, blah, blah. Get Jack Douglas on the phone. So he's calling Jack, yelling at Jack.
So he's really genuinely pissed off.
Yeah, he's pissed. So I tell him, "What is your problem?" Obviously, it's not about the guitar player knowing the fucking songs.
So you're just yourself.
Yeah.
Basically.
I grew up backstage the Fillmore. I don't give a shit about who you are
Yeah.
or who you think you are. And so the other two, the bass player and the drummer, are laughing their ass. This guy's great. I don't give a shit. Because every guitar player on earth came down for that gig and they're kissing Steven's ass. I didn't give a shit.
Everybody's intimidated by him, even though they're kind of messed up at this point, right? They've sort of fallen apart. They're like,
Yeah, but
They're
charisma
still-
is charisma.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
they still
okay.
had a reputation
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
getting out on the road.
right.
And anyway, it was. I went home. I said, "I ain't doing this, Jack." And then Joey Kramer, the drummer, calls me at 2 a.m. He goes, "Hey, Doof, come down over here." I said, "How do you know to call me Doof? Only people.
Yeah, how do you know?
Only people who cornhole me call me
told
Doof."
Are you sure maybe you forgot about a cornholing
No,
somewhere in there?
no, because he's so tiny. I wouldn't.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, I went down the next day, and I, basically said, "Steve, it's not about guitar players because they had everybody on earth down there, and it's about me giving you a hard time. So shut the fuck up, get up and sing." And when he started singing, I went, "Oh, I see." I realized what it was about, and that was that. And it was supposed to be like 6 months or a tour. It was like 3.5 years.
Yeah, so you take the gig. You guys are going on tour.
And he's on tour with us half the time,
Yeah.
dressing me up in duct tape pants and stuff.
Which, once they hit the heat, they fall off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They'd be
right.
out there with his
Steve would be
underwear.
pissed off. It was good.
So you're having a grand old time. You're probably having a better time than you thought you were going to have.
Much better time I thought I was going to have. Yeah.
Okay. And so what happens? Like how do you get to
You know what we used to do? We used to wait. There was this guy that used to collect the money, and we would always be looking to get him so that we could get money, so we could get a limo and go to the nearest place we could buy drugs.
all you guys, not just you two, all you guys?
No, me, him, and Steven
Oh, okay.
in particular, right?
The three of you.
Yeah. And so we would wait. This guy would lock himself in his room and make believe he was asleep.
Who would?
Mike,
Mike, the
Mike-
accountant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mike
Yeah.
McNeil. Mike.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he would make believe he was asleep, and him and we would leave after like half an hour waiting outside the door. Soon Stephen wouldn't stay. He'd stay there for like an hour, 2 hours.
Because he
And then,
he
yeah,
wanted those drugs.
Yeah, and so after like an hour and a half or so, the guy would think, "Oh, they must be gone." He'd turn on his TV. That would be the end of it. Steve would be
The
beaten
cat's
down.
out of the bag.
Yeah, and then we'd be on like a tour bus, heading to where the nearest town was.
And was the whole thing? I can never. You got to be a Bostonian or musician. Worcester. This whole thing. It's the Centrum.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
you can't find the
Worcester.
video. You
Where
can't-
Steven fell out?
Yeah, you can't find the video on the internet anymore, which is amazing because it's been taken. I looked all over for it, but you showed it to me years ago, where you guys are playing and he's down. You're picking him up off the stage.
Oh, that video's around. Anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't been.
He's
able to
down.
Find it.
It's done.
Yeah.
And I go to the audience. He's done. It's
Yeah.
over. We'll, something like that.
Yeah, was that the low point?
No,
No,
there was
this
some
was
other
common.
videos surfaced.
There's some videos that surfaced from
There were-
Florida, from the house in
Fr-
Florida.
yeah, in the house that were really bad, and and they would keep surfacing. And Stephen always thought that Rick was putting them up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it wasn't.
it's not
and
true.
No,
yeah,
it wasn't him.
technically
at
you
all.
probably couldn't have
No,
figured that out.
technically it was Steven's video player and Steven's tape, and him yelling at me on the tape, going, "Did you recharge the batteries? Make sure that's not out of batteries. See, what has enough film in there?" So he calls me when he sees this video of him all fucked up in Florida and me like teasing him and shit. So
Yeah, because you were always a prankster with him.
always
It's
taking
like
the piss out of him. That's
Yeah.
how you keep him on his toes, and beating the shit out of him, throwing him through walls. Got to keep him going.
Yeah, that's
So-
the way to do it.
So finally, I tell him, "Look, it's you yelling at me. It's your what was I going to say?
Well, it was Brimstone.
No. So what I told him, I said, "You're a dumbass because you had that tape recorder at the Gorham Hotel where he was living in some dump, And he used to give shit away to drug dealers to buy drugs. You probably gave it to one of your guys.
Yeah, right.
Because the tape came out of Chicago or something. So Detroit. And we thought maybe it was Brim.
It was. They found it in a box. It was after Brimstone
really?
took
I
a
didn't
bullet
even
to
know
the
that.
head.
Oh, shit. So it was him.
Well, so now what do
Shows
you,
you what I know.
are you thinking this is not good?
No,
Or are you just having a good time? At that point, you guys are kind of like...
At this time, it's still fine. Towards the end, we're playing small places, which I liked because it was like 1,200 people in there right there. But business was bad. The band was going nowhere. The other guitar player, Jimmy, was, it was over. This band was over. And we went to see Joe Perry's band at the Bottom Line, and they were awful. So I took Steven with our security guard to Joe's dressing room, and I said to Joe and Steven, you guys talk to each other because the band I'm in with him is over, and the band you're in right now, not happening. Go in. And I pushed Steven in the dressing room, closed the door, and told Rich Guberti, our security guy, don't let anyone in there. Now they were talking a bit, and I knew that. I knew they were talking, but they were, oh, my band's great, and both their bands sucked.
Yeah, right.
So the thing was to get the original band back together. Yeah. That's the only way there'd be a career.
And Brad followed pretty quickly once Joe came in.
Yeah, but once they did that, I got a phone call from everybody next day. We're going to kill you. The management was going to re-sign with Steven. They wanted to kill me because they're going to get together with Joe's manager. And also the band, Tom and Joey were like pissed. We'll never play with Joe again. I said, it's the only choice you got.
Why was that so important to you?
Because to get them together?
Yeah.
Because I was never because I cared. I don't know. I really don't. Because the band I was in was over. It sucked. And these two guys were good together.
So
and their careers were over if they stayed where they were, right?
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, but
I didn't care about being an Aerosmith.
You didn't.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so we cut to years later, and Aerosmith gets inducted
They
into
get
the
together
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
Yeah, yeah.
and Joey's
Joe,
not Joey. Joe is noted as saying, "Thank you, Rick Dufay, for committing musical career suicide." Something like that.
Suicide.
Professional career suicide when they're inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Was it the Hall of Fame or the Icon Awards? Or
no,
was it both?
it was Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Rock and Roll Hall
Really?
of Fame.
I thought
yeah.
it was the Icon Awards.
No.
Well, what did we go to?
We went to both.
I went to one. You went to both. He said it at both things?
Yeah, you weren't at... Oh, no, you weren't at the...
Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay, so he
which
said
blew
it.
my mind.
He said it.
And I didn't know Joe well at all. He hated me. Another fucking crazy tall goon fuck. I don't want to deal with him. Joe's like 5 foot whatever.
It just seemed like a little intimidated by you, your personality, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like that.
And I just didn't expect it. So I went into his trailer afterwards and blew him.
Yeah, as you should.
As you should.
And how'd that go?
As you do. Mm-hmm. No, I was just so grateful to him for doing that. And then
I called him from London before that too. Before they.
Oh, you tell me that you fucking set it up?
No. I had put the bug in his ear.
It's all coming out.
You set it up.
You
on
set
fucking
it up.
live national
You
fucking
set it up,
TV.
but I
Yeah.
had put the bug in his ear from London.
You did?
Yeah.
So that sucks.
Come on. I don't even think. What do you think? Do you think that's true?
What?
You think that he committed professional career suicide?
He didn't want to have a career anyway, so it was.
Is that true? You
Pretty
didn't want to have a
much,
career?
It was. I wasn't thinking about
Why?
a career like, how could you stay in Aerosmith if you're a character like me? You can't.
Why not?
Because Steven would be dead now.
Because of you?
I'd kill him.
Yeah, that's true.
And it wasn't my thing. I wasn't a backup kind of guy. I mean, I was running around like crazy on
What was your thing?
doing my own thing.
Doing solo?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you
Playing
get.
music I like that I write.
Yeah, right.
I wasn't like an Aerosmith clone guy.
What do you think about that, Jack? Because it was your idea in the first place. Do you feel like, hey, maybe we shouldn't have gone this
I did
route?
exactly what he said I should do.
Yeah. No, and I thought that it would help him get
it
another
did.
solo deal. It did, but we fucked that up really good.
Well, no, I went to London to do my thing, and Butthole here couldn't come because he couldn't.
I put the deal together. Listen, it's so funny. I had been over to France with some other acts, and I met this maniac. And for him, like Rick Dufay, ex-Aerosmith, he wanted him.
Yeah.
And I said, well, we can make a deal. This guy came to New York. We were both fucked up on junk.
This is the rabbit hole.
Yeah, we were in
years.
bad shape.
Yeah.
This guy comes to
Depends
New
how you
York.
look at it.
He comes to New York with a briefcase. He goes, here, this is for you.
No, Jack goes, there's a guy coming over with $35,000 cash. Didn't talk quite like that. And he's coming upstairs to see us. I go, $35,000
Right.
cash? And he tells me the story. I go, you kidding me? Because no way. Buzz, I let him up. This fucking 6'8" goon bag with red leather boots. He goes, "We nigger shit." I go, "What? We what?" I thought he said nigger shit.
Okay.
Yeah, but
he
it's
said-
French for negotiate.
Negotiate.
Oh, okay.
So what
and
the
you're
fuck
like,
is this guy talking about?
God.
So I go, yeah, we'll nigga shit, whatever you want to do. And he whips out this, and I go, holy shit, yeah, sign this great. Okay,
We'll sign anything.
So
he
we-
opens up his suit. He opens up a little attaché case.
Yeah.
There's $35,000 in cash.
for 2 junkies.
He said, "You make what? He wanted like 5-song demo
4 or 5 song demo, make demo.
for
Make
35,000." By the time we went into the studio to make the demo, there was 2,000 left.
Oh, Jesus. You're like, how about we do 5 more?
No.
Oh, it was a mess.
And then we sent them, and then he had, that's another fucking radio show. What happened after that?
Yeah, it was a mess. But anyway,
How did you guys recover? Like, how do you maintain a friendship through all of this?
So he gets so screwed up, he can't make this record in London. I make a deal with these people because he can't carry enough.
He's making the deal. That's not
No,
a good sign.
Yeah.
no, it's fine because I couldn't.
He
I
couldn't go to
I
London.
was out of action.
He was out of action because he couldn't stay in London because he had no connection there, and he couldn't carry enough shit on a plane to hold him over. So I had to go. I cleaned up, went to England, and made a deal with these guys. Went to Paris first, and they said you make a record in New York. I go no, not a good idea. I told them the truth. I was straight, and I didn't want to. So I made it in London. I had the best 4 years. I had a blast in London.
So I didn't see him for 4
So I did, but I keep in touch with him. I go,
Yeah.
how you doing? Oh, I'm
Yeah,
good.
everything's fine.
Everything's great.
But you're oh yeah, right. So you're getting a little better now.
I'm all better.
You're all better,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he's
fucked up.
still messed up. He's got a few years
And
to
between the guys in Aerosmith, a couple other people, I keep tabs on him. That he's
Yeah, they finally put me in the same place they went. They got clean
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, right.
And Joey Kramer, the drummer from Aerosmith, calls me. Did you hear about Jack? I figure he's dead. I go, no, he's in rehab. I go, you're fucking kidding me. Yeah.
So you guys weren't real super close during that time. I
No,
mean, you had to
not
hear
at all.
about it
we
from
talked
somebody
on the
else.
phone. But
I was so
Yeah,
used
right.
to him being in my life. I said, how am I going to do this deal, this whole thing, or make a record or do anything without my brother in a way? And it was the easiest thing I ever did in my life, getting rid of him. It was great.
and I didn't miss him.
No,
Yeah.
he had his heroin.
Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, you didn't miss.
But then
anything.
Then I come to New York and I see him walking down the street. I go, and he, oh no, this is before that. This is before that. Yeah, that's after that. He was fucked up.
I
So
was.
what was that like? You see your good friend that you've been all this
I
through
wrote him
this
off.
stuff with.
Wrote him off. That's it.
That's the way to
I
do
ain't
it.
going
right?
down that shithole with him. Yeah,
How did you come out of that?
he went.
I went to rehab. It
Aerosmith
stuck.
helped him out.
Yeah.
He
I
was
mean, it
done.
stuck. 20 years sober.
He was done.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's also a time, I'm not excusing
didn't
it, I'm
em-
just
I
saying it's a
didn't
time a
embarrass-
lot of people were messed up.
Yeah, but once heroin gets the hooks in, it's bad. I wasn't really ever attracted to alcohol or pot or coke, really a little bit here or there. I
Yeah.
wasn't attracted to drugs whatsoever. But once the heroin gets its hooks in, then you're in big trouble. Even if you're not like have a natural addiction thing. Like they say, oh, you're an addict, but really, as soon as I could clean up, I was finished.
Yeah,
I was done. I never wanted to know about it again.
but he was so sick.
And I never drank, so I didn't really care about drinking or doing. And I never liked pot, and I never did anything else. So 20 years of not doing anything is not like
and there's
hard for me.
There's a
I
thing that
just-
he never talks about, and it's the heartbreak of John being killed and the bullshit he had to go through after that. That's when the decline kind of started. Am I kind of right?
Yeah. It was it was terrible. But everybody.
You were
wants
with Lennon just
that night.
less than an hour
Yeah.
before he was killed.
I was the last person I was.
You probably should have even been with him, but you had another
That is an
thing.
unfortunate fact. Yes.
Yeah.
I
right.
would have rode home in the limo with him.
Well-
And then there was that whole thing of like, well, if I had done that, then I would have seen it coming. I would have stopped it. And then,
Yeah, bullshit. You'd have got shot too, or whatever.
well, whatever.
Well, that's a real
You play
That's
out.
on that happy note.
Yeah, on that somber note, we're going to cut to a commercial break. How about that? And it's perfect timing.
From Guns and Ammo.
Yeah, you guys are going to like Wendy's product.
In an average lifetime, 1,500,000 minutes are spent on the toilet. So what's the problem?
When you sit on a toilet, you're at a 90-degree angle.
Nature didn't want us to do it that way.
This causes pushing, straining, hemorrhoids.
That's crazy.
We want to create a product that is great for humanity.
Well, go time just got easier. Introducing Easy Go Pro, the only way to go.
Anatomically, we were designed to eliminate at a 35-degree angle.
You just sit, lift, and go in a natural position.
The benefits list is this long from a pure health perspective.
A healthy colon is encouraged by doctors for all ages.
The key to vitality, it's the key to longevity, it's the key to your health.
Be a healthy goer. Order now at EasyGoPro.com. Try it for 70 days. If you don't absolutely feel better, just send it back for a full product refund. Go time just got healthier at EasyGoPro.com.
They're back.
Yeah.
They're back. Actually, they were really applauding the commercial because
Yeah.
they all went and took a good dump.
Listen to Jack. Actually, they're really applauding the commercial. What the hell's wrong with you?
You know,
Right. Put your teeth in.
I don't want to.
I got him in. That's what the fucking problem is.
I don't want to make any promises, but Wendy
teeth
did
in.
mention something
Put a
about
dick.
Wendy did mention something about giving you each an Easy Go Pro. So we'll have to
Really?
check into that. Yeah, because you guys should poop properly.
What's that, a toilet seat?
Yeah, it's a you guys don't get to see the commercial,
It's
but
like a booty prize.
you basically
A booty
put your
prize.
feet up on it
A booty
when
prize.
you're sitting on the toilet.
Yeah.
So you can go potty properly.
I have a little bench.
That's a little different. That's just so you don't fall over.
I just use
Break
a
things.
5-gallon paint bucket.
Yeah. So you got, speaking of poop, you guys know a lot about each other's poop habits. Jack, you used to stay at Rick's a lot. When you would come to town, instead of putting yourself up in a hotel, you'd sleep on his couch.
Because
is that like a budgetary thing, or is that like a
No,
creative
it
thing?
was more fun.
No,
to
it was
be
a
there.
budgetary thing, too.
Yeah, right.
And he clog up my toilet because
Yeah.
he uses a half a mile of toilet
And-
paper.
Yeah. So you kind of taught him how to wipe properly.
Yeah,
You know
I
what?
did.
And it turns out that all the pipes in that house were so bad, and one of the bathrooms was illegal. So the whole thing was that they tore it all out over
Because of
there.
you.
Yeah.
No, not because of me.
Did you create a little distraction over there?
And you know what? What he charged me to stay on that couch.
After 5 years of you staying there.
Yeah, after 5 years. After a week, he was
Wow.
like, I could use a
A
little
week?
money.
You're out of your mind. A week.
I could have stayed at the Four Seasons for what I was
so
paying
full
him.
of shit, Jack.
But he was like, but you get a parking space inside. I had
That
to
was
pay-
your pitch?
I had to pay for the parking space. And then plus I had to work around the house, do the chores.
Oh, Jack.
Then he gave me like, well, did you watch cable last night? Well, I got to chip on the cable bill. Yeah, right.
You guys are
Okay.
like an old married couple,
yeah,
just sharing the duties and the responsibilities.
And whenever he stayed, he had to take me out to dinner. That's what. And then that wasn't good enough for me. Then I said, Jack, you got to give me 100. You're here for 6 fucking months.
100.
Yeah.
A month or a
Uh-huh.
week or some shit.
Listen,
Wow, that's a pretty good
Do you
deal.
know how
Jack.
terrible it was to stay? This guy, I would be working.
Yeah.
And I'd get finished like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired.
Dave, replay Dave.
He is up until with a light.
Letterman.
He's up until 4 in the morning every night.
Yeah, he's a night owl.
With a light. He doesn't care if the light is shining right in your face.
So, but this is the thing.
I know. The thing was, he stayed with me for years in nice places.
I was your houseboy. I'd clean up after you and your fucking wife for free
years.
rent is what I
Stayed
did.
with me.
Right.
Yeah.
Never paid a penny. Didn't have to.
But he did his little
But
duties.
Because he's obsessive and he has to vacuum everything.
That is weird. He's got a weird vacuum
He has
thing.
this
huh?
vacuuming thing. So he would vacuum everything in my house, whether it needed it or not. And he'd say, well, because I'm vacuuming.
I mean, that's worth something.
And I amused your wife because you were working all
Yeah,
the
you-
time. Her and I'd get our hair and nails done all the time, like brother
Christine.
and
Hi,
sister.
Christine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were 2 peas in a pot. What?
So, but that's sort of a musician thing too, isn't it? Like, there's this thing where you sleep on the couch instead of going to be like, it makes you more creative
It's a
or none
frat
of that?
thing. It's a frat thing.
None
It's-
of
It's
that.
like we're just hanging out. It
yeah,
was fun.
basically.
Yeah.
Walk the dog when he had one.
You know
Yeah.
what we were like? We were like Gore Vidal and his boyfriend.
I don't have any idea.
You
what
should.
that
Well,
is.
Gore Vidal was. You don't know who Gore Vidal is?
No, I don't.
Sure you do.
No, I don't.
You got to. Anyway, He said the best relationship he had.
assuming.
Everybody thought he was gay, and they thought they were stooping all the time. He said, no, we don't have sex. We just like each other's company. So Jack and I were like gay without butt fucking.
Yeah, right.
We still are, right, Jack?
Never, not even once, not even in your low points.
No. Well, once in Studio 54, we got this.
Just maybe once or twice.
No, it wasn't. It was
Twice.
Yeah.
Twice. Okay.
I mean, we shared the same woman in the same bed.
At the same time.
so-
Yeah.
So there was a
But-
little bit
but
crossover.
But he kept laughing.
You got-
It was because your face is so funny when you're down there. It's hilarious.
oh, wow.
It was
Wow.
awful. It was.
Yeah.
That's what we really like. No shame between us. I don't
No.
care. But not as bad as you, though, Kathy.
No, we're
Hmm.
not even going to go there. Let's just go.
Oh.
You have a couple
no.
pictures of these guys as friends,
Wow.
right? I don't know if you want to throw those up, but these to get some really cute pictures of these guys recent.
There's
being-
pictures of us together.
Being Mutt and
our
Jeff
hostess
and-
doesn't want to go there.
No.
She used to go there.
Yeah, those are
Wait,
those
what,
are
you have-
rumors.
You have pictures of Jack and I together?
Yeah,
From
with
where?
the milkshakes and
Oh, you sent her those? Oh.
Yeah, and at Home Depot.
Oh,
it's really
yeah.
sweet. It's like you guys are friends.
We're
like,
more-
for real friends.
We're more. Yeah, we're family. Really, we're brothers. We are, right, Jack?
Yeah, you are. No, you are. You're
we are.
brothers.
But you know what? He never buys me dinner.
You know what? That's bullshit. You need to buy him dinner.
Keeps him coming back.
Yeah, yeah. There is kind of a weird thing there, though.
He
Like
loves
you,
it.
Yeah.
I go out.
He makes him feel so good to buy me dinner.
No,
I don't
it
want to take
doesn't.
that away from him. Oh,
Yeah.
it does too.
Okay, let's get back to the music
Look at
scene.
his
'cause
shirt.
You know what I want to hear about?
Look at his shirt. Where's the camera? Wait. That's over.
We're
The Yankees are done.
okay. Listen, I want to hear what you guys think about the state of music today. I know it sounds boring,
It's all right.
but I want to hear what you think about it because a lot has changed. There's analog to digital. There's there's all the people.
I don't
Just
think
changing
there's
their
any
voice
difference between
There's
that.
people with the voice.
Yeah, they're like they can't
Oh,
sing at all,
autotune.
and then they get
Yeah.
up there
Well,
and
they use
they
it
sound like
live.
they could sing.
Look at music today is like it's a commodity that no one really cares about anymore. You really don't. You hear it once and then it goes on the shelf and it's finished. There's
What-
no more catalog. There's nothing classic. There's that you want to hear over and over again.
There's nothing you're gonna listen to
It's
that's
all
coming out.
disposable.
Yeah.
And so it's as disposable as anything on the computer.
So what does that mean for artists who are really truly artists?
There's still a way to make a living and be heard.
How?
Go on the road.
Go on the road and you do something rather interesting on YouTube. And I'm telling you, there's a band called Shovel and Minka knows.
Shovel and shit.
Oh, the country.
Yeah,
band.
well, they're not even really country.
Yeah, they're like bluegrass.
Shovel
A
and Bones
girl
or
and a
something.
guy.
Oh, I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Didn't they have a documentary?
I don't know.
I saw that documentary.
A short little documentary?
A full.
Oh, I don't know.
It's a girl and a guy,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Older woman.
Yeah, I know exactly what
guy.
you're talking about. I saw
She's
it in
not
Virginia.
older.
Yeah, she is.
No,
Older than him.
Yeah, she maybe.
It's Shovel and.
But yeah, I know
Anyway,
what you're talking about. You should
so my
look it
point
up
is-
while you're talking because that
My point
give him a plug.
is that there's still really good stuff, interesting, original, non-bullshit music,
Yeah.
business stuff out there, and it gets found through networking, the computer. Now no one's ever gonna make the money that they made in the days when we were coming
You don't
up.
think so?
Never.
No.
Never. Because you don't sell anything anymore. You don't sell you don't sell a Snickers bar and get 35 cents for it. You just don't. Everything's for free on the internet.
Yeah.
So, but if you're good, you can make a living playing live and getting a few little downloads.
It's
that
a
might pay for
terrible
the
time
gas.
for
Yeah.
record producers because
Yeah.
there's no royalties anymore. I mean, luckily I have a catalog. It's still selling. It's okay, but if you're a young producer,
Yeah.
you're not going to make it. You have to make all the money up front, and no artists have money up front. And
Sure.
and labels produce very, very little content in it. There's not much going on.
Why do you think people don't care about music like they used to?
Because once you could take it for free, then you wanted it for free. So it's nearly for free now. It's, Spotify and YouTube, and they pay pennies.
So what
It's all about it's a promotional device now
Shovels
to get
and-
you on the road.
Shovels and rope.
Shovels and rope, yeah.
Yeah.
They have a documentary. I saw it when Chris and I were in Virginia we just happened to go to a movie theater and see it, and it was excellent. It was really entertaining, and they're amazing. They work their asses off.
Yeah, they're great.
I think kids still are crazy for music. There's a pop music which has always been there. It's always been the stuff that kids grow out of. And there's also kids that are older, and they love the stuff passionately that they go and see. But
They discover.
That they discover. Because that's what was great in our time. You discovered the music. You weren't told what to like, or it wasn't marketed to you. Here, this piece of crap, you're going to love it. We found it, and that discovery is what the whole difference is. So a lot of these good young bands are done that way. Now they can make a living, and there's things that these guys talking about how they have to, it's really tough to make money, pay gas and stuff like that. And they're selling out 1,200-seat theaters. But the
that gets them to the next gig.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you sell T-shirts, you sell your CD.
Merchandising stuff. Try to sell it.
You sell as much as you can. You're out there, you make fans because you're meeting them. It's very one-on-one.
But you have to be good. You have to be different. You can't be mediocre.
And you have to stay on every social network you can. You have to promote yourself over and over again.
Yeah, it's a whole different.
Which, if you're 21 years old and in a van, and you got some little geeky guy in the band, or he's a roadie,
it's a blast.
Who can sit on the computer while you're driving to the next gig, and they can work. But you've got to be different. You've got to be good. I got so many friends that we know them. They used to come for us for advice. We said, just give up, get a job, because you haven't got it. Yeah. You're just mediocre, man. And
you have to be
do you
different.
say that?
And then,
do you say, well, I know you do, but do you say that?
I said that to a girl today, and then she played me something that
blew his head
she
off.
thought I wouldn't like because it wasn't pop or hip,
right?
And it was genius. And I'll help her. I'm going to send her up to the studio to record 3 tracks. But that stuff that is unique.
So when you first listened to Rick's demo way back when, I want to go back to what it was about the way he sang and entertained that you don't get anymore
Just
today.
By hearing it, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, the lyrics were really funny. So,
So it was his songwriting.
The songwriting and his voice matched the lyrics, and his guitar playing matched that too. It was all silly and fun, and it was very It was very inviting.
Yeah.
You wanted to take part in the fun of this record and this music, and so I thought as a listener, I was hearing it for the first time. Love is the only way that I'll go down. I mean, that's exactly what you want. That you want to have fun with that. Tender, loving abuse. Come on, really.
So, do you feel like artists, even if they're unique, do they still have that storytelling kind of thing?
Sure.
Yeah, and there's this high echelon group of songwriters that create really good, unique and fun songs for Katy Perry and
all the pop.
All
kids.
the pop.
Yeah.
Most of them are in Sweden.
It's a machine.
What'd you guys think about Beck winning the Grammy this year?
Fine.
I mean, because it seemed like a message.
Album.
It seemed like a message saying, "Hey, like he's a pretty artistic guy."
And it's a good album that no one's heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a good
But
album.
A few people heard it and said, "That's it." Yeah, that was kind of refreshing. It startled everybody, including him.
So, what do you guys think about things like American Idol?
Fine, whatever.
Well, yeah.
Yeah?
It's entertaining. Not for me, but for millions of other people, and The Voice. And it's created a few big superstars. A few. Yeah.
2.
Right. 2.
Yeah.
Maybe more than 2.
Well, no.
No, 2 superstars and some other minor stars.
But do you think it gives kids the idea that they can just kind of show up on one of these shows?
Because
no, but you have to be able to sing.
You got to pull. They work.
You have to have talent.
You do. They do. They weed out. It's tough. You think about it though. Anybody that we grew up liking, from the Stones to Dylan to everybody, they wouldn't have gotten 2 feet in those doors.
That's true. That's
because
my
it's
point
not
then.
about singing in your voice in the business. It's about character, and characters in your range of how fast you can play. It's about character, and if you happen to be able to sing good and stuff, like Steven Tyler, the guy had character and he could sing, and he's like a nut job. You got to see that. There's what's different.
Did you guys ever talk to him about judging? Was it really true?
Yeah.
Was it true that he was mad at the band?
We used to go to the shows.
No, I was working with him
You
we
were
went to the
making
show.
the album
I
then.
was making an album. He would have to come to the studio after he finished.
So this
At
was
Idol.
a rumor. So there was a rumor that Tyler took the gig with American Idol because he was mad at the band. That's
No.
not true?
What happened was the band was slightly angry with him for taking.
Oh, nicely
okay.
put. Let me be politically correct here, people.
No, it wasn't that Tyler was mad at the band.
Okay.
The band was like, "How are you going to do that and work with us? It's going to interfere." It
But
didn't
he
really
pulled it
interfere.
off.
It
It
helped,
helped
the
the
band.
band. The royalties went up 100%.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
I was happy.
Yeah.
It was fine with me.
So-
And he did his job.
And he made a lot of money and bought a house that's falling apart that no one can live in because it's all screwed up. It's typical Steven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bought a house in Hawaii.
That he can hang out
That's
in.
not bad.
But the house in Laurel Canyon is, whatever. I'm taking wood from it for other jobs I'm doing. I go up there and rob the job
It's
site.
because he micromanaged the
Yeah.
construction, so it's like the movie Bugsy where they're building the hotel.
Right.
So, Richard Dufay, do
Yeah.
you think you'll ever play again?
What do you mean play again?
Yeah. Will you ever do any gigs?
Probably not.
Why not?
I don't see the point.
Do you play in private? Do you ever go into the...
It's over there. I'll pick it up sometimes. I do. I'll put it like if I'm watching some movie. It's what's that melody? Well, that's kind of cool. I'll just sit there with it and put it down. But I have no desire to go play. It's too much hassle. There's no money involved. I've done it. I know what's out there. I don't need it for my ego. I don't see the point. I have no desire to. I got to express this bollocks.
What about so you wouldn't do live gigs? I mean, is there anything that can convince you to get up and do something?
Well, yeah. You know what could happen if the old rehearsal place, Cole, came back. With
Yeah.
a nice
What
shitty-
happened to that place?
They closed it down. It was a great place, and I used to love going there and rehearsing
you
with
used to
Dan
go
and
pretty
Dan
regularly.
with Rothschild
And
Yeah.
recording it.
and record there. That
Yeah.
was fun. And I would if it was convenient. But all these guys, every place you go to, it's just such a hassle. Oh, we got 4 monitors. I don't need that. Just give me a system and get the hell out of the room and leave us alone. But it's no fun anymore.
What about that place
Too
where
much
you
work.
guys were recording the Aerosmith album?
It's gone.
It's
That's
gone.
gone?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's
Okay.
just too much work, and it's just not fun. And it's funny the guys I played with that I made the last record with a few years ago, whatever. When are we getting the band back together? And I'm going, and Dan Rothschild plays with Hart. I go, I'm not getting the band back together. Give me a rehearsal place that's comfortable. I'll get my shit down there, and maybe in a week or two we'll play a few notes. That's it. I don't care. Right?
What do you think?
Or what
of
do
the-
you think?
Yeah, let's hear
He's
it,
thinking
Jack.
ice for full of
Yeah.
shit.
No, let's
No,
hear
he's
the
not-
truth. What do you really think?
That's the truth.
Yeah?
He's finished with it.
Yeah.
If he could go down and play in a rehearsal hall, he might.
Yeah, I would.
But otherwise, he's
Because I
finished
like
with it.
riding with those guys and just taking it easy. But it's such a...
And then and letting Dan edit it up and stuff.
Yeah.
All that stuff is fun.
yeah.
And doesn't it mean anything to you that so many of your fans and
No.
your little entourage and the people and other musicians want to play with you?
No, not many musicians want to play with me.
No,
Well, like
those
you,
guys
like Dan
they're,
and-
Yeah.
they're dying off.
They're all dying off.
Yeah, right, right.
But those guys do, and fans, the fans, I don't have any fans. I mean, if I do, it's only because
Yeah, you
of
do.
Aerosmith, and they're all old, and then they can live without me, and I can definitely live without them. No offense.
What if Steven Tyler begged you to record something with them or get on stage?
did.
Would you say
I did.
yeah? And you said no.
No, he did. He came down and recorded with Aerosmith on
okay.
the last album.
All right. Oh yeah, just recently.
Yeah.
Well, a
So
couple
you're
years ago.
still like
Yeah.
And when he came down, and we had a blast. It was a lot of fun.
It was like
and
the old
Steven
days.
had a blast, and
Did you
the
love
guys
it?
in the band.
I had fun because it was as if nothing changed with the three of them.
And what was Joe's attitude with?
Joe,
Not good.
Joe was like, "What's going on? What's going on over here?
yeah, yeah.
I got to start this thing. I go, don't worry about it, Joe. You put your slop on it. Don't worry about it. I'm just fucking around." He goes, And I told Jack, "You better tell Joe." He goes, "Oh, don't worry about it. It'll be fine." Brad was great. Well, we had a blast,
Yeah, it was.
and it was good. It was actually
fun.
good. It was a good funk until. I'm not gonna say anything because he's
Until
a good guy.
what? Let's
Nothing.
hear it. Until what?
It was all black and greasy, and then it got white real fast.
Okay, and that's not your thing.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
And Steven was great. Everything was great. He was great. We had fun. So yeah, if Steven said, "Hey, come and play in this because I like it the way he likes the slop," yeah, sure, no problem. But if he even said to me, "Come on the road with me," I go, "What am I going to do? What am I going to do there? You're going to pay me nothing, and then what am I going to do when I'm done? I'm sticking with a job I got because it's lifetime, and I love it. I like doing what I'm doing.
And what is that?
I'm a handyman.
Is that code for something?
Yeah, fix shit.
You dig that.
I do.
But you've always kind of dug that.
Always, yeah.
Yeah.
I dig it
okay.
because it's these are proper buildings, with, And
I had an uncle that was a handyman.
yeah, Uncle Steve.
No, it was Uncle Mel.
Oh, Uncle Mel.
Uncle Mel, he lived to 94. He loved it so much.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah, he
And you
just
make-
loved it.
And you can make money doing it. Whereas I couldn't make any money in the music business. I'm not going to Japan and tour with some band some guy from Rat, some guy from Warrant, and some guy from Aerosmith.
But you could.
Oh,
you could if you
nah,
wanted to. You're just
I
not
have
into
pride.
that scene. Yeah.
I'm not playing an Aerosmith song that I didn't write because I used to be in the band for 20
Right,
minutes.
right.
Fuck that. I'm not desperate like that.
It's kind of your artistry too, though,
It's an
don't
insult.
you think? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I get it.
But some guys have no shame, say no more.
So, something I want to talk about that Jack is doing now, which is, I think, kind of new for you, is your scoring.
It's the fourth.
It's the fourth thing you've scored, movie?
Yeah. Fourth feature, and we've done some trailers and a cartoon.
You want to talk about that documentary a
But,
little bit? Talk about all of it, but I want to hear about the documentary too.
One is up on Netflix now,
Okay.
and it's called Genius on Hold.
Oh, that's good. I hate saying good shit about him.
You do?
Yeah, that's good.
It's a
Why?
good.
Because
It's a
what's
good
going to
story.
happen?
It's good. It's a good documentary. And the thing is, the music. I forgot he did it. And I'm going, oh, it's a good song. I went, oh shit, he did. Because you played it to me in the car when he was doing it. I go, it's having. I was giving him a hard time.
Until you see it with picture.
And
That's
then
the thing about scoring.
When you see it with picture,
Yeah.
it's picture.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, you
Like
do.
an
You
old
went to
married
dictionary
couple.
school when
They
you were.
just go. If I let them go, they just would
Good picture.
be like we'd be done and they'd still be going.
And it's really good. He's good at it. He's. Go ahead, Jack. Sorry.
It's
So
okay.
now we're doing this. We're doing a film called Gardeners of Eden, which is about saving baby elephants. It's about saving elephants,
Yeah.
but the David Sheldrick Trust is they get the babies that are orphaned, and they try to rehabilitate them because they're a mess, and then eventually, after 3 years of nursing these things back to life, get them back into the wild, and that's and we're scoring this film. Kristen Davis produced it. She was
Sex in the City.
yes,
Yeah.
and she's really into this cause, and it was directed by a guy named Austin Peck, who is over in Kenya right now doing something else. For
Two
the-
directors, right? I think there's two. I think
There's
there
two
might be- yeah,
directors, but Austin
co-directors,
Peck
yeah.
is the kind of the main director.
Right.
The other girl, I think, was a cinematographer.
And this is a big subject right now because the
Yeah, but,
elephants are going to be extinct
they are.
probably within the next 10 years.
You know,
if
I was
something isn't done.
of the same opinion. I thought, isn't this ivory thing over? I thought
No,
it was.
no.
It's gotten worse.
It's gotten worse, yeah.
So it's a good. Actually, Dan Coe and I. Dan is my co-composer, and he's an orchestrator. He's doing Got to See Saul, I think, right now, and we've just taken any money that we're going to make from this thing and just donated it back to the trust.
So the documentary, it's not done yet, or
Yes, all the shooting is done. We're
done,
we're
okay.
scoring it up at the house.
Okay.
And then we'll mix all of it, the final mix in about a week.
And what's the best way for people to check this out? Is
They
there
can
a
go
website?
to the David Sheldrick Trust, and they can find out everything. Or there's actually a site for Gardeners of Eden with the temporary music in it before we got to it. A trailer.
Okay, yeah, I know. I saw the trailer. I cried.
Yeah.
It's really, it's horrible.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine who is putting a documentary together about the same subject, and
Elephant Days.
yeah. Do you know about it?
Only because when you said something about it on Facebook, she said, I'm next. Or
Oh
her
yeah,
film
right.
is
Now
next.
they're gonna start
Yeah.
recruiting you.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
gonna get pigeonholed.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll do
Yeah.
that for a while. I mean, I love scoring film,
And you love elephants.
and I love elephants.
Yeah, what's
I know.
not to love?
Yeah,
No, they're amazing
wonderful.
creatures.
Yeah,
It's
they're very
it's a
smart,
great cause.
and they're beautiful, and they're fragile and sensitive, and so it's great. But I love writing music for film. I always wanted to do it, and the thing about, I produced a band last month, did a whole album. Albums are they're few and far apart, and so the more of this I can do this into my 90s if I if I lived that long, because it really doesn't take the kind of energy that it does to work with a band that's breaking your balls, in the studio. So I'm going to do both things for a while, and then hopefully just one.
So you still have your hand in all sorts of cookie jars, right? You got you're still engineering
building a
stuff.
studio in New York
You're
City,
scoring stuff,
which is a post room and a recording room. Working on a movie with
it's a major studio in New York.
Yeah.
It's a big world class.
Heavy stuff.
What's it called?
We haven't come up with a name for it yet.
Maybe I'll think of something.
Okay.
Take your pants off.
Which they're already off. It's keeping the camera from the waist up. Would you work with this character again?
He always works with me every day.
I'll help him, move furniture or move lumber or whatever.
You help me move some stuff. You help me jack
whatever
up
he needs.
I work on a car. He'll help me with the.
Yeah.
Do you think you guys will ever get married?
We already are, but people
You
just
are?
don't. His wife approves, and
She does. I think she does actually.
No, yeah, she does.
you should see when she was in town the way we bag on him.
The two of them. Oh, yeah.
He loves it.
Do you want to say anything about where you're staying now, since you no longer,
He doesn't stay on my sofa anymore. He stays on somebody else's sofa.
Yeah, real swanky sofa.
That's a dump.
You have to come up sometime.
I'll come up sometime.
A major
Tool.
something. Was very, very generous person. I've known him a long time.
He's just using you because
We're
you're
gonna
a
speak
character.
in code now because it's secret.
Yeah, I've known him before he was a big movie star. He was a musician in Florida, and I knew him back then.
So you upgraded your accommodations. Is your creativity tanking a little bit, or
No, not at all.
maintaining
Because
it?
every once in a while I come down from the Hollywood Hills and I go to the Hobbit Hut where Rick lives now.
A new place that I have. It's called the Hobbit Hut.
And we go out to dinner and I treat.
You fucking better.
Every time.
He has to because he owes me for all the times he ripped me off when I was coming up.
Yeah.
He'd sell
big
my
time.
publishing to guys. How about what was the guy? Black Kenny.
Black Kenny.
Yeah, Black
He's in
Kenny.
jail for life.
Yeah, I thought he was dead.
Double murder.
So I find out years later this guy got $15,000 from Black Kenny because he gave Black Kenny my publishing when he was junked out. So this guy owes me, and God knows how many other people he did that to.
Do you have all this in writing? You keep in tabs?
Don't need it in writing.
No,
Going
it's
in
all in
going
here.
in the book.
Yeah. Are you worried?
Oh yeah, he's writing a book about. Somebody's writing a book
You're writing a book.
Got
about
a publishing deal.
Yeah. Right. When's that going to come out?
In about a year.
2-3 years the most. Got to think it's got to do something to make it interesting.
So listen, before we're gonna have to
CIA,
wrap up.
you read the CIA
I know.
story.
Yeah, these guys were at my my birthday party over the weekend. Did you guys have fun?
We did.
We did, but God, the food was terrible.
Oh, it was
would
not.
you stop it? Stop it!
Bloody awful.
Oh, God. Oh my God. Good.
Oh,
Okay, so
How do you look 22 years old? I've known you 15 years.
You've known me since I was.
yeah.
I knew you since you were
I had to
40.
do the math real quick.
She's got to be at least 63 years old by now. Look at her.
Give or take,
Anyway, go ahead.
30 years.
How, are you going to be doing this show again?
Did you get a free Audi?
Maybe. I
that
did
come with-
not.
oh.
No, they don't give a squat, man. Before we sign off, do you guys? What do you guys have advice for young musicians? Other than what you've already said, like get out.
If you're not doing something that's really unique and really like it has some truth to it, don't bother unless you just want to stay down in the basement and have fun.
Yeah.
Then fine. If you're just doing it for fun, please have a blast. But if you want to get serious and get other people to like what you're doing, make it unique.
And don't trust your
Have
friends. 'cause
character.
they'll always lie to you.
How are you supposed to know? How are you supposed
You
to
go
know
out.
if
You
got-
go out and you play in foreign places, not play to your friends. Go, you're great. Go somewhere and hit whether it's a guitar or piano where nobody knows you. Sit down and play. And if people stick around, maybe you have something. If they just keep talking and shit, keep playing, but play it at home.
Yeah.
Is that it?
By all means, have fun. Yeah, but if you really want to be something in this business, you've got to be special and different.
You got to develop on your own.
Character. You have to have character. You have to say something that other people can identify with.
In the old days, record companies would take a little scratch of talent and develop it, and it actually worked, right?
Yeah.
Now they don't do that, so you got to develop it on your own, and you can't develop it by listening to your little friends telling you how great you are. You got to get out there and get you.
Yeah, they had a guy with a cigar telling you what to do, and he was usually right.
Right. And he's usually Jewish. God bless.
It's good advice, guys. You guys, I have mad love for both of you. Thank you so much for coming in.
You
And
improve it after this camera goes
oh,
off.
I'm
Jack,
gonna,
don't be such a dirtbag.
Put your dirtbag.
put
Yeah,
your-
I have mad love for you, but it's not that kind of love.
He
Jack.
always
Not really.
When we first met, he thought he.
Yeah. We'll save that story for another time. I remember
Which
it
one,
like
the
it was
65-year-old or the 55-year-old?
All right, you guys, thank you so much. We're going to wrap it up. And thank you, Wendi, for giving us this hour of fabulousness. And
Yeah, thanks, Wendi.
Yeah.
I want to take a poop, Wendi.
Yeah. We'll get you those Easy Go Pros, I hope.
Are there toilet seats?
The little, they're steps you put your feet up on
So you
you
can
can
take
be
a
in the
proper-
proper position
Yeah, so
to,
your knees are
do
up.
your potty.
Yeah, but I'm tall. My knees are up anyway.
This is how we're going to end the show. This is
It's
perfect.
a product placement. It's perfect.
Right down the toilet
Product
and through the
placement.
tubes, coming to you. Thanks, you guys, for listening.
We
Well, it's time to wrap up another great hour of Living Unfiltered here at ubnradio.com. We'd love to hear from you. So if you have a topic you'd like us to discuss or you want to be a guest on our show, you can reach us at livingunfiltered@gmail.com. And since we're right here in the heart of Hollywood at Sunset Gower Studios, that's like saying, have your people call my people.